in Marin County, which is
Yeah. Yeah, I
no.
know where that's at.
And then when we got married, we ended up in Sonoma.
Yeah. All right.
Gosh, 44 plus years ago.
My husband and I just had our 50th wedding anniversary 2 weeks ago. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Okay, good
Right.
morning, everybody. We are already streaming over YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to have Cindy Maddux this morning. And before we started, I just want to remind you every hour on the hour we have the call, or you have the recording that you can listen
Corbin.
with Corbin. Okay,
Corbin Roush.
let me start all over again. My name is George with Corbin. Okay, can you see that? I know a morning person.
Uh,
But
yes, you
anyway,
are.
okay, Cindy, this is your call. Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And all I see is this beautiful picture behind George. So all I can see is all that beauty right behind him. And that's where I live, you guys. I'm blessed, beyond blessed. I have a big backyard, and every mountain, every window I look out, I see mountains and I see big, beautiful green trees, except the ones we just had to have taken out of our backyard because if they were to split, they would take down 3 houses. So they were 100-year-old trees, and it just broke my heart that we had to take them down. But I also have to worry about grandkids, great grandkids, and myself. So my job this morning is to talk to you guys a little bit about follow up and how you enroll people. And most of you guys that are out there working the business every day, we've got a lot of different ways with all of our prospecting tools, all of the ways that you have to go out and start gleaning from not only your own neighborhood, but from all the neighborhoods around you. Any place that your phone has a connect, that you can connect with people all over the United States. It's key. The key is not only to connect with them, but to follow up. I was lucky enough last night. I had sent out over 20 messages, and I ran into 3 different people that sent me back messages and said, "Hey, Cindy, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to you in forever." Now, do you think I had a reason to call them back, to get back with them and let them know what I'm doing? Why? Because first of all, we liked each other in the beginning. And sometimes when you're out there and you're not doing something because our company had went away, we just didn't have all those same contacts, but they're still in your phone. And so one of the things that I really feel like we really need to cover also is when I came into the company, and there are some of you that are not founders with the company, but when I came into the company, we had the founders pack, and then we had the founders pack once again. Okay. And so because of the founders pack, we had ways to utilize the fact that these guys could come in, and once they started building their business, could get a little stipend from the company as a founder with the company. And so many people got lost in translation that they didn't do what they needed to do in order to make that happen. So if you are focusing on right now with what we're doing with Core 3 and what we're doing with Happy 10, if everybody isn't at Happy 10 and you want to give yourself a raise today or a raise by the end of the week, you want to get to Happy 10. I was blessed that the day that I came in, I sponsored 21 people and I made Happy 10 only because we came in and we all started with a smart ship. And the other benefits, you guys, if you do not have your people on a smart ship, you need to get them on a smart ship, because a lot of the volumes that's going to fall beneath them in their organization is going to be gone. It'll be gone. If I go in and I sponsor right now, I'm going into a sponsor mode and I'm sponsoring 20 people on my left side, and you just happen to be on my left side and you don't have your smart ship of at least 2 products, which is 60 PV, everything that falls below you, you're not going to capture. Okay. Now you can go in and read all about it, but I'm going to tell you that the one way that you want to make sure that you are talking to the people that you are bringing on right now is that if I'm going to go in and sponsor 10 people in my L1 category, do you want to be in the top 10, or do you want to be at the bottom of the 10? because those 10 people are going to come in somehow, some way. Do you want to be number 5? Do you want to be number 1? Do you want to be number 3? Or do you want to be number 10? Okay. And that's a decision making opportunity for you to have a conversation with somebody that's sitting on the fence, and then you push them over. Okay. Reason being is that I'm going to allow you to position yourself based on how we put the strategy together to get you guys going in this business. And if I strategize, and most of you guys know that I am building my left side because I have plenty on my right side until forever, but I'm building my left side, and you guys have to look at, for a lot of you guys that are brand new, that are building your left and your right and your left and your right and your left and your right, make sure, okay, make sure that when you come in and I say, Carol, you know, you're going to get started on 2 products and we're going to get you started for the next 90 days, no matter what, because I don't believe that anybody can feel the full benefit of any product unless they've been on it for a minimum of 90 days. I'm going to go ahead and get you registered with our company to get that. So it's going to come back to you every single month, whether I'm on vacation or I'm home. I'm going to make sure that your products are going to come to you. Is that okay with you? And by the way, it's going to give you some savings. And if you stay on that smart ship for 6 months, the company's going to give you, at the 60 PV, the company's going to give you $100 credit, okay, for you to utilize on additional products that you might want to try. Is that okay with you? And a lot of times, well, yeah, I mean, 6 months comes and goes really quick, you guys. That's $200 of free products a year that you can benefit from with your certificates. And when you win your tokens and all that kind of stuff, you need to get in. If you've put people on a smart ship and you've never talked to them again because they're just in there trottling along, just using your products, you need to get a hold of them and let them know that they probably have certificates sitting in their back office that they need to use. Some people have had some that have expired, and then they're like, what is this thing, Cindy? And I said, oh my goodness. And they're in my downline. I did not personally sponsor every single person in my organization, but I'm going to tell you, as a leader, you need to make sure that you let them capitalize on anything that the company's going to give them for free. Okay. Now, if you do core 3 right now, you've got a doubler bonus. What does that mean? I'm going to move $1,000 with the products with 3 people. Would you like to be one of them? Okay. I'm always asking people, just, you know, it's easy to go ahead and get somebody just on a product, because you know what? They'll try it because they're your friend and they love you and all that good stuff and the ooey gooey. But if I'm going to get them on a program that could literally change the course of their life, I want them to get the biggest bang for their buck at all times. Same thing applies to you. Always, as a distributor, what are the benefits and the perks for you when you're building your business? Okay. If you're giving somebody an opportunity to be on the top or the bottom or the middle, you know, what kind of a conversation are you having with these people? Are you letting them know how important it is that timing is everything, you guys? And the reason why is because I had an incident happen this week, and I was laughing. I thought, oh my goodness, you know, I know everybody in my own backyard. I've had all the meetings here. And one of my brand new people says, oh, Cindy, I'm going to go talk to my esthetician. She's brand new. She just signed up. And when she went in to talk to the esthetician, she said, oh, I'm already a 3 distributor. And she sends me back a message. She goes, Cindy, is this lady in your organization? And I said, no, not that I know of. Oh, she was sponsored by somebody down in LA, in California. And I said, oh, really? Okay, well, we do have local meetings and we keep ours open. We make sure that if we're having a luncheon, you will be invited if you're building your business. If we're having a coffee break and you want to learn a little bit faster than some of them that are sitting at home trying to figure it all out, then you're invited to come. And or if we're having a luncheon, you're invited to come. Okay, we might ask you to bring something for the salad bar, but you know what? We are an organization of like-minded people that are going to go out and build an empire, not based on only what we do, but what we all do together as a team. And I've been like that my whole life in network marketing. Okay, you guys, I'm not one of those people that if I know something, I say something. If I have something that's working, I'm going to let you know about it. If you're not ready, that's up to you. But I want you to know, the other thing that we talked about yesterday was all distractions are equal. Okay, good or bad, all distractions are equal. We all have things going on in our life. We're moving 3 homes right now, you guys. Now, that's a distraction. And if you let it all be on you, then you're not using the gifts that God gave you. I just happen to have a few extra gifts. When I need help, I reach out and touch a lot of people. I need 10 people to help move one house. Okay, it's my mom's house. But the key is that now I'm able to go out again and talk to a lot more people. If you only stay in your own backyard and you're not going out and you're not touching all those people that you're connected with, not only in the industry, I just had my 50th class reunion. I had 140 kids from my class of 1975 come to the reunion. I just happened to be the one putting it on. I happen to have every single phone number, every single email, every single address to every single one of those kids that showed up. Do you think I have a reason to contact them? I love them. These kids are kids that are still alive. We lost 1/3 of our entire class, you guys. And this was our 50th. So just start utilizing. And I have a lot of have always had composition books, and I have different colors of composition books. You might be in my purple composition book, okay? Because you might be a lead. You might be in my black composition book because you're a part of my team. You might be in the white composition book because you're somebody that's on products and that's all you want to be on. You want to be a product user. But if I go and I say, oh, I got to get a hold of all my people that are using products, and I don't just scroll down my phone, I'm going to just talk to a few of them because I want to get some leads. I want to see how they're doing. I want to know if the products are working for them. Then I'm going to go over to that white book. And if I'm going to go out and I'm going to start prospecting and add 3,000 more people to this list, then I'm going to add them to this book. Okay. And then when you start carrying those books around and people say, what are those for? And I said, I here, you want to look at these right here? I said, this is how you make $1 million. What? This is how you make $1 million. What do you mean? How do you do that, Cindy? And I said, basically, this is the lifeline to your business. And I just happen to currently work with a company that's going to $1 billion in sales. And I'm currently looking for probably 10 or 20 brand new people that I'm going to work with in the next 30 to 60 days. I don't know if you're looking for some additional income, but if you are, then I really need to talk to you. And if you're not, I'd like to talk to somebody, or maybe even one of your kids that's going to get downsized before he even goes out and gets a job, like my grandsons. I would like to be able to talk to them. Because if I could show you a way, and we did this, you guys, I'm not going to give you a big dog and pony show. When I was with the other platform, okay, we did a lot of what we were doing kind of now, but we didn't have the technology that we have today in order to do it in. But I walked into a room with 500 people. Okay. I walked into that room. I was brand new. I literally, you guys, I was like, holy moly. And this guy started taking off all this clothes because he had lost over 100 pounds. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to do what he's doing. And all of a sudden there's 500 people in the room, and the leaders walked to the front of the room and they said, we're going to be meeting up in 90 days and we want 5,000 people in this room. That's how much room we have to expand in this room. And we want to fill this entire room with over 5,000 people. 90 days later, you guys, and I used to have to go to the fly-ins every single month, sometimes twice a month. I had to fly into Salt Lake City, Utah. And in that 90th day, you guys, we not only had 5,000 people, we had 5,500 people that were actually in that room. And so the key is that when you start building that landslide, you start putting yourself in position to be a part of something that's going to be big. You just have to determine, am I going to be the one at the bottom, Or am I going to be one of the guys at the top? Am I going to be the ones walking across the stage? If am I going to be the one that's going to take 10 people to 3-star before the end of the year or the end of the month? Does it matter? It only matters if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you can't. So I always say whiners aren't winners and winners aren't whiners. When somebody on your team starts to whine, you guys, you go tell them where the local winery is, and they can go spend some time over there until they wake up and realize that you're not working with whiners. You are working with winners. And when you let them know that I'm working with winners, not whiners, all of a sudden their whole thought process changed. What do you mean you're not going to work? What do you think I'm whining? And I said, every single time we're together, you complain about something. Yes, you are whining. Okay. I don't have time for whiners. I said the most valuable asset every single one of you guys has is time. And I said, how many people allow someone to waste a ton of your time? And at the end of the day, you're no further ahead than you were yesterday. And you're like, oh my gosh, why did I let that happen? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, no more winners aren't whiners and whiners aren't winners. You have the right to tell someone no, or oh, somebody else is calling me that's ready to get started in the business. I have a training program that's going to start at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. I sure wish you'd like to join me and get involved in that training program. Do you guys understand that in the old days we didn't have all the training programs that we have today? Okay. We didn't have all the onboarding. We didn't have all these morning meetings. We didn't have all the conference calls. Okay. We had one 3 times a day. And I got thrown into the whole gamut of you're doing Wednesdays, Cindy. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not one of the leaders yet. Well, I just happened to be one of those leaders. I went to Blue Diamond in 13 months in a company that some people took 10 years. And the only way I got there, you guys, and I had to do it the old fashioned way, every one of my frontline executives had to do $5,000 in volume. And then you stand around going, okay, who's going to stick? Who's going to stay? And if you have $5,000 worth of products, I think that when people start a business, if you don't have $3,000 to $5,000 worth of products, people look at you and go, "What? This ain't a real business. What do you mean, Cindy? Come on, $2,000, they can quit." But I said, okay, let's put the money on the line here, guys. Let's go ahead and get you registered, and let's go ahead and get you the biggest program we have. And then at the middle of the month, if you think you're all that you say you are, we're going to go ahead and get another one, because we're going to be working with somebody on your team, and we're going to help them do the same thing. All of a sudden, everybody's like, well, I could do that. I could do that. I want to do that. And I said, do you guys know when I had my 5 children's and maternity stores, it was $100,000. Okay, in my little community, $100,000. I had the very first pair of baby Weeboks in the county. They call them Reeboks, but we had baby Weeboks, and I had them in my stores. And then all of a sudden, everybody was ripping me off and stealing. And I said, I will never do a traditional business like that again, because a little man came into my store that did network marketing and got me involved in network marketing. And I was I think I had just turned 22. And that was it. Game over. Okay. I didn't realize that I could give everything away in my stores to the needy, but I still had to pay $48,000 in leases. And somebody said, well, why don't you just file bankruptcy, Cindy? And I said, I will never do that. And I said, I will do what I have to do to get these bills paid. And less than 6 months, I don't even think it was 6 months, you guys, I had joined network marketing and I had paid off that $48,000. So I know that in this industry, even back then, when things were a little bit harder, we used to use email. AOL was, my second best friend. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, new technology, AI. I'm still a belly to belly person, just like George. I'm still one of those people. I want to look you in the eye and I want you to look at me and I want you to say, I can work with that lady. I think she's good for the go. Okay. Because I used to tell people we're going to spend some time together. And I said, you're going to learn to like me. Okay. And the reason you're going to learn to like me is because my best interest is about you. Okay. Because if your best interest is about them, you're already the winner. you are the winner. Why? Because if you put 10 of those people together and those 10 people get it, you're already going to be a winner. Why? Because if they're frontline to you, you're going to capitalize on that 30%. Never in this industry, you guys, have I ever seen an opportunity where they pay you, okay, to take care of people the right way, not babysit. When I was growing up, babysitting got me 50 cents an hour. That's how old I am, you guys. 50 cents an hour. You do not make money babysitting. I'm just letting y'all know. Okay. So if you came in to babysit and you think that your one person is going to make you $1 million, it's not going to happen. It can in the long run, but if you're sitting there betting on just one person in a compressed binary, you need multiple people to make that happen. And then you want to give people the opportunity to know that there is a reason why they've got to either make the decision now, okay, invest, and then get started. And we're going to show you how to make sure that your business is a success. And Core 3, back in the day, I had Race to Ruby. It was exactly like Core 3, except that we had 4 positions, not 3. Okay. And I did Race to Ruby, and I did that in 67 days, and I moved $62,000 in volume. Had no clue other than the fact that I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to make sure that I had the best advantages as a leader. And you guys know that Daniel Piku has your best interest at heart with this company. I get to look him eyeball to eyeball. Every time I sit in the third row at any event that we are, we're number 3 for a reason. And I usually sit in the third row. I had some issues, most of you guys know, with my hip and my leg, and I could have stayed home. It's embarrassing, you guys, when you're not perfect, when you're not, your weight is, you've gained weight, or you're not doing all the things that you think you can do. And people are going to look at you and say, holy cow, wait a minute. I tell everybody, don't ever judge that book by the cover, because you guys can't outrun me. You might think you can. You might be able to physically outrun me, but you cannot mentally outrun me. And the reason why is because I've got over 45 years of knowledge and wisdom in an industry that I stuck with. Why? Because I knew this will be my 52nd free trip that I've gotten to go on, you guys. So just know that when you work for companies that will do for you, okay, more sometimes than you feel you've done for them, you just kind of sit back and go, OMG, this is the real deal. These guys are going out of their way to make sure. And I thank God, because I'm not so talented on the computer, but I can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. But you put me in front of a computer sometimes, and I'm telling you guys, I'm like, oh, that's a waste of my time. So I'm blessed to have an account rep that can help me at all times, and an upline that says, hey, and an organization that's more techie than I am, because they know if I can go out and help them do what they're good at, they can help me do what I'm good at. And that's the nice thing about all of us collectively together. Okay. All working for 3. Focus on things that you are good at, and then follow up. And when I say to someone, which I will see this morning, and the reason why we're meeting today is because I know that you're a stay-at-home mom, you're married to a pastor, and you guys are not making the kind of income your husband made when he was a professor at the college. And I know you're doing God's work for a reason, but I need to help you, okay, in an area where you can reach out and touch a couple hundred people. And I don't care if you do it in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or it takes you a year. But if each one of you can go out and reach 10, that reach 10, that reach 10, all of a sudden you have, like Shannon Schmidt. My gosh, one of her guys has over 350 people in his organization, and she didn't know he had that many people already. But guess what? He's out working the business, and so is she. She does what she's good at. He's doing what he can do. And there are people in your business, you guys, that will do what they can do. And you just keep remembering, I will always continue to throw out that life preserver to anyone that says, choose me, Cindy, choose me. You know why? Because I am willing to go the extra mile. I am willing, okay, to do what you ask me to do. I am willing to spend my $120 a month to get the 2 products that I need to stay solid with this company. and make sure that I capitalize on every single penny that the company is going to keep putting in beneath me. I have some of my team, you guys, that have $200,000 in volume. And you know what? All they've got to do is start building out that second leg. I had a lot of people that came in, and all of a sudden somebody else had a better deal and they were going to all go over and do this better deal. And I looked at them and I said, not me. Not me. I had an option to come in and be bought in at a big position. I said, not me. And you know why not me? First of all, I believe that a lot of those things are gimmicky. I've had chances over the last 40 plus years. And I said, if it's going to be, it's up to me. It's not going to be because somebody gave me something to make things happen. It was because I made things happen and then I helped other people do the same. So you just have to remember, do what you're good at. Love what you do. And when people see you, I used to wear a little thing on my chest, and I'm going to get it made again for my team. And it said, have you made a difference today? And people would walk up to me in the grocery store, didn't matter where I was at, and they'd say, what is that? And I had neon pink and yellow and green and red, and every day we'd put one on, and we'd all go out and we'd find a new connect. We'd find somebody, because in the old days we didn't have what we have today. In the old days we had to go out and we had to go to coffee shops and we had to go meet people. We went to the park, we went everywhere. But I'm going to tell you something. When you can make a difference in somebody else's life every single day, I think about Shannon, and I get up and I pray for Shannon. I pray for a lot of people. I have a prayer wall in my house, and I'm sorry, I don't get into, not into politics, but I'm going to tell you what, God will always be number one in my home. And I am proud to say that he is, and I will always be, because I believe that because of him, I have always been lucky to be around the kind of people that want the same things that I want. They want to help other people. They want to make a difference in the world. They want to be that shining light. I always tell everybody, if you be the shining light, you guys, and you be the beacon, people will find you. They're always looking for the light. They're not looking for dark places. Don't go into a dark place and stay there by yourself. If you go to a dark place and you're by yourself, call me. Never stay in a dark place for very long. Always go to where there's light. And this business, this company, this call every single morning is your light. You get out there and then you take this light and you go back into your community and then you shine, because that is what God wants us to do. He wants us to be a shining light in our community. And that is exactly what I get to do every single day. That's why I started Camp Maddux 32 years ago. And it was only a dream, you guys. It was a dream. And I've had tens of thousands of children that come out here and say, Mrs. Maddux, Mrs. Camp Maddux, they're now adults and their kids are coming to camp. And I said, last year was my last year. Well, I don't know. It might not be my last year. God's the one that lets me know when it's my last year. And if there's 1 ounce of me left that can go out and do what I do, then I will do it. And that's what we get to do all together, all of us, for this company. So I hope that you get a little pearl. And I tell everybody that if you start on Monday and you watch every single one of these and you want to make a pearl necklace by the end of the week, you're going to find pearls and you're just going to keep putting those pearls together until you can make that necklace. Or you can just find one pearl and then another pearl and make yourself a set of earrings. But I'm going to tell you something. There are always going to be pearls on these calls and out there, and you're going to go, holy cow, it cannot be that easy. But yes, it is, if you allow it to be. And like I said, if it's going to be, it's up to me. And every single one of you has to feel the same way. You have an opportunity with a lot of people that are going to come and be a part of your team, and they're going to come and be a part of 3. And we want to be the shining light at the front of the room with 3 International, because we will be a 3 or 4 or $5 billion business. So there you go, George.
Wow. I think we could have a round of applause. I probably am going to have special effects with round of applause because this is amazing.
Okay, you guys. Hey, I love what I do. I love the fact that George, I'm going to tell you something. Until I got connected with all of you guys, Tracy and Lance and the leaders, when you guys start putting it out there, and I was like, oh, can we join their little club, their little organization? And I get up, usually at 4 o'clock in the morning, you guys, you can't beat me up. And so I'm like used to being up early. And so the key is, you guys, you got to make sure that you get up and you stay up and then you be up. okay, and get through those papers. I'm sitting here looking at papers that I wrote, and half the time I never look at them. Why? But they give me little things to pick up off of. Okay. So again, go into your back office, find some of those people that are sitting on certificates and help them spend their money. Today is a spend your money day. I give you permission. All right, George.
Thank you very much. Caroline, do you have a comment? Go ahead.
And I have a question for Cindy. That was a great presentation, by the way. Can you go over the real quick the color books and what you do with them?
So I have composition books. They come in like 7 different colors. Okay. One is for all my leads that I'm working on. One is for all my customers that I take care of. One of them is basically I keep a lot of good information in those books. Like if I pull it up, they're on the counter. One of them is like every one of them, when you guys are out telling the story every day, I take notes. I'm a note taker. At the event the other day, I had 31 pages of notes. Why? Do you think I don't know what they were talking about? No, when you go home, you reread all those pearls of wisdom and all of what's been said, and then you go, oh, I get that. Oh, I can use that. And once you start using those books, I probably have 60 or 70 of those books sitting over in my baskets, and I go back to them even sometimes when I want to speak. And I want to talk about some of the ways that you can build this business. But one of your entire books, you guys, should be on all of your leads from 1 to 100. Where did you find that lead? How are you going to follow up on that lead? Did I just get it because I sent out Corbin Roush? Okay. And like some of my pages, I'll just turn and I'll add to the next one because I have to start sponsoring again. When I said all distractions were equal, you guys, if anybody had my year this year, you'd go, I don't even know why she's there. But it's all equal. Like I said, it's all equal. Now it's time to go back and sponsor. And the one thing that I said to people is, look, you can either be at the top or you can be at the bottom, but one way or the other, you're going to get on these products because I believe in what these can do for you. I love you that much. I want you to understand that we have a different quality of life when people are taking good products. And people have known me my whole life for taking nutritional products. Okay. Never, like I said, don't judge the book by its cover because I'm not a size 10. But I'm going to tell you something. I had a guy say something to me one time, and I just used this the other day. He came and was talking, and he said, I think I told Shannon about it. And he said something about, oh my gosh, it was 70 some dollars for a box of vitamins. And I looked at him and I saw a big ring on his finger, and I knew what car he had just drove up in. He was in a Corvette. And I just said, oh my gosh. I said, so you're married? And he goes, well, yes. And I go, I saw your car. It's pretty nice. And I said, it's pretty bad. It's pretty sad that your wife's new husband's going to love driving your car and spending your money. And he looked at me and he was like, what? And I go, because if you don't start taking care of yourself, you are not going to live a long life. You need to get on some good products. And I swear from that time on, you guys, he was on products and I don't think he ever went off. Because he was willing to spend that $75 because all of a sudden he had his own little wake-up call. And you have a lot of people that need a wake-up call.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Okay. Wow. Amazing again. And by the way, she was telling the story about 500 people becoming 5,000.
5,500 people, and we couldn't even fit them in the room. They were sitting outside.
That's right.
And Nathan Ricks said something to me that day.
Oh,
and Nathan said, Cindy, I had to start speaking on Wednesdays, and I had to get my team together, and we spoke 3 times a day, every Wednesday. We spoke at 8 o'clock in the morning, we spoke at 12:15, and then we spoke at 6:30 at night. Monday, and everybody had a leader, had a day. Okay, when I came in running, I went Ruby so fast that they had to put me on the next Ruby trip, which was 11 days after I had just went to the very first event. So I had to go on this Ruby trip, and all these blue diamonds were on that, were all came up together, and there were 31 people, and out of those 31 people, only 9 of us went blue diamond. But some of them took 4 times as long to get there. And I came in and I just said, look, get in, get out of the way, and this is what we're going to do. And that was basically it. And they said, well, how many people did it take you to get to the top of the, I said, 1, me. I never, ever, ever signed up with any other person to have another person be a part of my team other than the people that I had brought into the organization. Because a lot of people were merging their organizations so they could get in and do a lot less. And I said, not me. I said, I'm going to earn it the right way and I'm going to keep it that way. And I did for 9 years.
Yes. Yeah, something that I was going to mention. By the way, Nathan Riggs was an amazing leader. It's sad that
I love
he
Nathan.
passed away, but he in a airplane accident, he was flying his own plane. But anyway, something that I was going to say is what she was saying. She became a blue diamond in that period of time. You had to have 10 leadership legs, not 10 legs, 10 leadership legs at the position of executive. And that is like having 10 legs that are at least, probably, I would say, like a 3-star elite. Imagine that was so much tougher. And then the people, when they break away, they become executive, they are breaking away from you. I mean, and here we have a pay plan that's
I
more
just found
simple.
this, George. This is my blue diamond that I walked across the stage with. And I laughed because all of a sudden it was like, okay, so now I'm blue diamond. Now what? And everybody was like, oh my gosh, how do you think like that? And I was like what? It's just what they're telling you to
Yes,
do it. They're
yes,
giving you the pearls, use them. And that was it. It was like, okay, then what's next? And then you only got paid 2.5%. If their volume front line was not more than 3,000 PV, you got 2.5%. And
yes.
if you were at 5,000, you got 5%. Five.
That's right.
We get 30.
I know
30.
on your person and
30.
on what the people are making, even more
Yes.
than that, because you
Yes.
have
Oh my
10
gosh.
executives or
That's
above.
right. That's right.
Just when the people are making on top that you have you have for to infinity up to $27,000 a week, by the way. And when you see what percent is that, it's 5% that we are getting paid
Right.
infinity.
Yes.
And
Forever.
yeah, in that company, I'm not going to say the name, is 6 levels of 5%.
Yep.
And that's here. Here we have infinity. On top of that, we have the matching bonus 7 levels.
And the PIBs. So
And the
when
PIB.
somebody says, well, how do I make, this is what I'm selling this morning. I'm telling them the deal, the real deal. Okay, you can either get the $375 bonus and you can get your buy-in package that's going to give you a lot of discount and free product, or you can just come in at $200. Okay, I don't know what works for you. Okay, I'm a business person. None of those little packs are ever going to work for me, ever. Why? Because I believed in me. I believed in me. I knew I could move those products. And guess what? The company will keep making more for you as much as you want,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
We can
Yeah,
get
they're
more.
so, yeah. And we are at the beginning. That's the
That's
top
right.
thing.
That's
In that
right.
company, nobody hit 50,000. There are people making more than 50,000 a week already here in that
That's right.
company. And I'm very familiar because I know the
Yeah.
founders, etc.
Oh,
In
yeah.
that company,
Yeah.
the first person to hit the $1 million was like in the third year, and then from there they exploded. We are in a position. I wish I could put a pill on everybody's brain and see what position we are here. The pay plan that we have on top and the products that we have on top, like us, they started with
Quality.
5 or 6 products originally, like
Quality.
us, and today we
Quality.
have
You
over
guys
100.
are all
That's
talking about
quality.
glue. You guys are all talking about glutathione. Okay. My daughter has lost 3 children. My grandson would have been 15 this year, and he was the 71st baby in the world that was born with no glutathione. The lack of glutathione. His deficiency was a deficiency of glutathione, and his blood would clot. So you have to understand, and it was glutathione synthetase deficiency, and he was the 71st baby that had lived for 7 weeks. And I was with my daughter every single day at the children's hospital. And she had already lost one child. And then she lost one after that. And all she said to mom, I just want to bring a baby home alive. That's all I want, mom. So when you people think that, what we do is not important, I started diving my whole life into learning more about the things that we were deficient in order to make that possible for other people to not go through what we had gone through.
Yes, something I was gonna say what she's talking. This product There's no
Yes.
product like this in the world,
Yes.
Eternal.
None.
And I think
No.
people understand that. There's
And
a
the
company,
resveratrol.
yeah, there was a company in Utah that was built only in glutathione, only
Yes.
in glutathione. The company, okay, the owner became interested. It's why the company has to shut down. They sold it actually to somebody else. But this kind of product is so unique, and we don't talk enough about how
I do that
billion-dollar
twice a
product this
day.
is. I'm
I
not
do it
talking to
twice
sell.
a day.
Yeah, I'm not talking to sell it. This is a billion-dollar product. The same thing that kinetics is a billion-dollar product. We have a billion-dollar business, and that's why when we talk to people, we don't say, "Oh, this product you're going to feel good." No, this product is going to make you multi-billionaire and healthy,
You guys.
multi-millionaire and healthy, because we have an incredible. And looking at other plants, that's why I get excited when Cindy's talking. I mean, she was in a plant that was so complex. That was my first network marketing company. That's why I'm very familiar with them, and that's why I know so many of the
Yeah.
people there. But anyway, guys, make sure
Yeah.
you share the what we have, because it's very unique. And thank you, Cindy, for bringing up the